Hi, I'm Reverend Tom Kearns. Welcome to 333 Magic 9, where the tarot cards and the stars work together to bring you insights of a cosmic nature for your life. Please take a moment to subscribe and hit the little bell for notifications so you'll know when new videos are put up. FYI, I am using a 0-degree equal house chart, so the small numbers in the center of the circle may not match, but the interpretations are correct. I am doing this to conserve paper due to the many forests that are being destroyed by fire. Now, let us take a closer look at your cards and stars. October is always a transitional month, and the first week of October starts under the light of the full moon and the tarot card Luna. Now, this card is often associated with difficulties or deceptions when dealing with other people. But on the positive side, it's also the card that enhances psychic abilities because you're dealing with the moon. So when the sun is in opposition to the moon, there's a lot of extra sensitivity, a lot of extra emotionalism floating around in the air. So it's important that you do not let your imagination run wild. Rather, use your imagination as a productive and creative tool. Now, the first week from the 1st through the 7th, this may be a bit difficult for the full moon represents this opposition. You can see it right here, the sun in opposition to the moon. And the sun is in the 5th house of romance and creativity. And the moon is in your 11th house of associates and group situations. So it's extremely important that you keep yourself out of difficult group situations while at the same time respecting the needs of your associates. So the idea here is don't get entangled in other people's affairs, so you don't mix business with pleasure, but do take some time to enjoy and heal yourself because as you can see, the moon is conjunct Chiron, the wounded healer. The next important change comes as Venus goes into Virgo and your 4th house, which is the foundation house of your chart. Now, Venus is not really happy in the sign Virgo. She gets to be a little bit too critical of other people. But she's not so unhappy in the 4th house because this is the house of home and family and emotional foundations. So she can put a sparkle on your home and family life. So plan something special like a romantic weekend at a ski resort, or to travel to a Caribbean island. Or to be more mundane, you can make some improvements around the house. But on a deeper level, you may make some time to feel how fortunate you are. This will help you build a real sense of security. The end of the week features a challenge, which I call a clash between warriors. And there's also the coming confusion of Mercury, who's going to be going retrograde this week. Now, the Tower card is the type of energy that may best describe this type of conflict. It is really a card that describes a disruption or unforeseen changes. And no one likes surprises, especially if the surprise destroys the status quo or what you've become accustomed to. So make sure you are careful in your reaction time. So don't go off the handle and don't let your ego get out of control. Others may be looking for a fight because of some of the other oppositions and squares that are hanging around the air. And this might be a fight to the finish, so please do be careful. The week ends as flighty Mercury in the 6th house, this Mercury right there, and he's about to go retrograde, opposes erratic Uranus in your 12th house. Now, this is a disruptive and confusing energy, and this aspect happens twice this month, on the 7th and the 19th, and that is due to the Mercury retrograde. So you can you can really figure out that whole time period can be a little confusing. Now Uranus up in the 12th house here really may bring some challenges concerning your ability to understand exactly what is expected of you. You need to listen carefully. You need to find some quiet time, and you need to watch where you're going. A lack of clarity can create a state of confusion. And you must be aware that the opposition into Mercury into the 6th house, and this is the house of health and work, and this can cause some disruptions and confusion at work. And worry can disrupt your health and your sense of well-being. So you may need to take some sort of a reality check. The next challenge is Mars up in the 11th house. He is going to be squaring Pluto in your 8th house. So there's a lot of conflicted energy there. Now Mars in the 11th house deals with your need for participation in group situations. You feel like there are people to meet, places to go, and things to see. And you might want to join a group of like-minded people so you can enjoy social events and things where you can be a leader. But you have to remember, a leader needs to be a good listener as well. And this is extremely important because Mars is squared to Pluto, Saturn, and Jupiter. There's a real loose conjunction here, but the Pluto-Mars square is exact. And Pluto in the 8th house is very strong, and he awakens your deep need for life-changing awareness that demands life-changing experiences. So you need to be able to join your psychic energy to like-minded people and harness power on a level you may have never experienced before. Now, madness is isolating yourself from other people because you're afraid. Rebirth of your talents and your inner being may be the gift of this energy. Now, the Hanged Man is a card that I'm going to suggest deals with the Mercury retrograde, because the Hanged Man in tarot suggests that we're changing our perspective. We're looking at things in a different way. Now, this can be a valuable lesson as Mercury goes retrograde in your 6th house, and that's the house of health and work, and he is strong in that house, on the 13th. Now, this suggests that it's important to pay attention to the details in day-to-day work projects. You know your responsibilities, but there's a lot of misunderstood energy floating around. So check twice if you have any questions and watch where you're going. Now, it's also important to note that the Sun is going to catch up with Mercury and conjunct, be in the same place on the 25th. That'll add some confusion to creative projects and perhaps some romantic ideas. So care is needed with lovers. And speaking of lovers, the card for the 3rd week, the 17th through the 24th, is the Lovers. I love that card. This card often suggests a choice must be made between following a passive enjoyment or the possibility of flirting with temptation. Now, there's an important choice that may be made which can be guided by your higher inspiration. You must remember that love is serious adventure. It demands cooperation and commitment between two people. And there's a very important opposition between Venus and Neptune, which can shatter some of the illusions of love. Venus-Neptune wants to have love on a high spiritual level, but it's very difficult in the real world. So some of your dreams may not come true, unfortunately. However, there is a very important trine, it's a double trine of Venus right down here, to Saturn and Pluto. Now, Pluto is in the 8th house, and he demands you must deepen yourself and know what is most important to you. Now, the beautiful trine from Venus to Pluto can help you with this. It can put a wonderful sparkle on your home life and anything that you're dealing with family, any type of family improvement, or dealing with your sense of emotional security. It's a very good aspect. And you may be able to deepen your spiritual and emotional bonds with those that you love. Now, Venus, as I said, is also trying to Saturn. And Saturn is a stabilizing influence, so Venus trine Saturn can stabilize your feelings about others. So focus on important issues and don't take any shortcuts in accounting. Make everything add up. So emotional situations that you're involved in, especially with home and family, need clarity. As we go into the final week, the 25th to the 31st, the card that I'm putting up here for the beginning of the week is the Four of Swords. Now, as you can see, this is a card that represents rest. Now, there has been so much energy banging around for the whole month, beating everybody up, and everybody running in many different directions at once. So a little rest and relaxation may be more important than you could ever think, because this transitional month may really force you to gather your energy and your inner forces together so that you can have some solitude and peace. Because like it or not, there is another big aspect coming at the very end of the month. And that is why we have the Wheel of Fortune up here, because it is a change energy, and it's energy that can go any way. I mean, it can go either direction. So the full moon will be right on top of the planet Uranus, and that is going to be happening in the 12th house, and that's the house of your inner self, your limitations, your spirituality. It's also a very psychic house. And the moon will be in opposition to the sun, and the sun is moving upward here. And so this will, really suggest that you must keep a balance between your personal routines, that would be the sun in the 6th, and your inner emotional feelings. So your work responsibilities may hamper you from getting the rest that you need, and that'll not be good, because then you might be under a little bit too much stress and tension. So really take some time to decompress. Look at your responsibilities, see if you can handle them in a more efficient manner. The 6th house is efficient. It's one of the things it enjoys. If your energy is drained, you are not going to be able to perform well. So with the moon conjunct Uranus, and that is a full moon, remember it's going to be in opposition to the sun, it might be very good for you to take out some time for yoga, for Tai Chi, for prayer and meditation, because this can actually bring you a deep spiritual renewal. Thank you for watching. Please like and share these videos with your friends, for they are free. That's a great price. And I hope you have a great month.